have already set this up right now. Oh yeah, what is up? It's 7 people already hanging out, waiting to chill. What is going on?
What's up, everybody?
Welcome. I was gonna say, welcome to the KotoKai Robo Dojo. No, this is the Workbench. KotoKai Workbench number 165. My name is Brian. Some people call me the Bro Builder. That's how it goes nowadays. With me as always,
Hey,
Paul.
what's going on, guys? Good evening.
How many of us are Paul?
Just one. Just me.
Paul.
Just
Paul.
I.
Michael Valdez, how you doing over there on the other side of the planet? Lorenz, how you doing? Matthias Olivio, what up, man? Welcome to the show. We were talking about car models before the show started, and because I'm working on one.
Yeah.
And Paul has a handful of Formula One models.
Yes, kind of like right
in the wings.
there.
They are.
Yeah.
And
yeah, we were talking about finishes like on cars. They tend to be different than Gunpla. Like you don't see a whole lot of Gunpla with like the high shine, like perfect surface finish. But obviously that's very common in automobile modeling, and it's not easy to achieve.
Oh no, you do and you don't. I mean, Chris does. If Chris was here, talk about it. He's probably playing Armored Core right now.
Oh, I want to get it. I'm trying to finish something. I'm trying to finish Zelda before, and I'm at like 80%, I would say. So I've talked myself into finishing a game before I buy another one.
See, now that's a little different. Oh, here we go, Mr. Keeley. Hi, Kyle.
Hey,
Keeley.
Yeah, I too, much like Kyle, have projects that I want to work on before I get into Armored Core, because I know that it's going to be a big consumer of free time.
About that. I am balls deep in this new project when I should probably be painting. But that's what this weekend is for.
So you distracted yourself from your primary project and not
secondary
with the thing
project
that you wanted to distract yourself.
What?
No. I'm enjoying this distraction. It's a nice one. I can't say this is like a distraction to distract. I don't know. I saw the kit and I was like, I want to do that right now.
What are you? I'm going to give you the solo, Kyle. What are you working on?
Oh, okay. So I am working on I don't really know how to show it because it's all in pieces right now. Here, leg. This is a pretty synonymous leg. So I am working on the Goof flight type. HG, nothing too big. I had built it many years ago. Just snapped it up, put together. And then I see it on the shelf. There's a shelf somewhere around here that it sits on. I was like, I want to make something out of that. So I decided to. I spent all of yesterday, all this hanging around the office, cleaning up parts. Got like, 3/4 of it sanded and cleaned, and then I'm sitting at work and I decided to. While I'm there, I'm like, you know what? I was thinking of just making it like a light build painted thing. I'm putting a part together so I can show you guys. And then I was like, you know what? No, let's customize this shit. Let's do something crazy-ish. Mild customization. Why is this part not going on here? Okay, here you go. And so I just started to. So I've got some little details on the front. I got a little thing. I scribed a box around there. You can't kind of see it.
Oh no!
I'm putting on some pla plate. I got a little. Wow, my camera is not really good at.
Don't look at me. Look at the part. Cheating, Kyle.
Yeah, it's styrene.
No, you know how the camera thing. It doesn't want to focus.
So adding some details to it.
Yes, to spice it up. But I'm like, I'm gonna limit it. I'm gonna try to like next 2 days throw a bunch of like little details to spruce it up. And I've already got ideas in my head of some of the things I've drawn out some of the if you look on the thrusters, I'm like, I'll put some boxy thingies there, and that will help like spruce it up and all that.
Sure.
And so now I'm like in the process of doing it, and I'm here hanging out with you guys.
That's
Oh,
such a
fantastic.
great looking kit. I love that thing.
Which one?
Goof flight type.
Oh yeah, dude, it's a fun kit. Like I said, I looked at it, I was like, because I have a Dom prototype from the what part of it's the pre Xeon kits. What are those ones called?
Pre-Xeon?
Well, it's you remember how they made a show and they put it on Netflix, and it's like before the events of the original Gundam show.
I mean, Origin?
Origin, yeah, it's an Origin kit. Yes.
Okay. There's an
It's the
entire
Dom-
12-volume manga series that came before the animations. I own it.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That's right. So
Yeah,
Origin,
that one.
I have the Dom prototype, and it's from Origins.
Yeah.
And I was
It's
looking
like-
at the two. I was like, I want to do something with these two.
Oh
'cause
yeah,
for
the
some reason I don't
little
wanna
the
paint.
little high grade. They feel like it's this big, but it's probably more like
He's a lot bigger. I can grab him.
It's
in
such a
second.
good build too, right?
Oh,
For
it
a
is.
high grade?
I have two of them because I enjoyed the first one because I was just like, it's simple yet it's satisfying, and I just like, And, but so I looked at the two kits and I was like, because I don't want to paint. I'm kind of bored of painting. I don't know why. Which, speaking of which, here is a painted backpack. Not a lot to look at with that because most of the detail is in the many
Oh snap!
rockets that I had to mask.
Right, that's for the Ava, right?
Yep, 144 circles had to be cut.
Nice. Did you punch
so-
those, or what'd you do?
I was going to punch them, but for some reason, my punch was doing a shitty job at actually like cutting the entirety of the circle. You would get like 3/4 of it, and every time I'd peel, I was like, "Fuck yeah!" So I just measured it out, drew up some vector files, and then used the Cricut. And then I spent the rest of the night peeling them out, and then putting them on the thing, and then putting them on the piece, and then I painted them. Yeah,
Good move though.
yeah. Oh yeah, it was much more streamlined. Especially when I realized, oh, I needed 30 more. Well, all right, print out 30 more. Bob's your uncle. The most taxing part of that process was removing them off the sticky mat that the you put things on the Cricut on, because it's like adhesive for the masking tape, adhesive for the mat. Nice little bond. So it's like that was a little
Yeah, hard to get them off.
time-consuming.
I understand.
Yeah. But yeah,
Same
it
thing
worked out.
happened on the workbench too.
Oh yeah, they get stuck to the workbench, and just the force of punching them through gives them enough little pressure.
Yeah, I think I have that cutting mat still that I did all those punches.
Probably. I actually ended up pulling out one of my other ones when I was doing it because I was like, I don't want to mar up the one I have, cutting all those damn circles and little circle indents all over the damn thing.
Yes.
But yeah, this weekend, since we have a 3-day weekend, and it's my birthday weekend,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some time painting.
Hey.
I've got a lot of parts prepped and cleaned, so I'm sure I can really dive into it and get a huge chunk left to really kind of make some progress on the Ava. Nice, yeah, the whole section of it. There's no more lines or anything.
No more grid.
You see this stripe?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, if I had the there it is. That stripe.
Yeah.
That is a pass of dots. That is circles. See if I can grab the camera.
Oh, I can kind of see it. That is
Jesus.
so
Hard to
many.
see.
Look at them.
See. Yeah, well, it was 7,500, like thousands and thousands.
Oh, no, thank you. I thought 144 was bad, and that was not even. I didn't even do the legwork. I just had to remove it. The whole cutting process. Mind you, like Brian, you used the punch, like you had a copper tube that you sharpened it. But so yeah, that's what I'm working on.
We got here. Lorenz just finished playing his first hour of Armor Core. Super hyped to play again. That's awesome, man. Mateus says AC6 is amazing. Yeah, I'll be getting into it soon. Brandon says working on organizing my build area again. Been so cluttered for so long. Brian and I were just talking about that actually before the stream started. We were talking about car modeling, and like if you've ever watched videos of people who do like automotive modeling, their workbenches are usually immaculate, like almost sterile. They're so nice to look at.
Mine is nowhere near. It is a disaster. I can't
Yeah.
even work because it's got so much shit on. I'm like, I gotta move some stuff around. It's not.
I'm
confusing.
sure that has something to do with the finish that they're acquiring or
Yeah.
hoping to acquire.
You gotta have a clean, sterile area so you can get a clean, super glossy, high,
Yeah.
finish.
Yes. Well, I did all right with the bug, and I did all right with the Nova.
That's
But
true.
I did those. I did the bug last year. Right now, essentially, I was working on that, and then I did the Nova. Following that, it was in like the
Let's say earlier this
winter
year,
though.
right?
So yeah, that was in like the winter.
Mhm.
So
No, I thought you did a really good job. I mean, considering you're not working in those type of environments, Brian, you had a really good finish on both those kits.
yeah, they're pretty good.
I think most of the troubles you ran into had nothing to do with foreign debris. It was the reactions between the paints that kept giving you issues.
Yeah, that was the issue with the candy coat on the flames, the blue flames on the hover bug initially. Paint cracked hard, and then just disappeared. All of the chrome and all of the black that I used was so old. Don't use old paint, boys and girls.
Tread lightly.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm still working on the Porsche. I repainted the body, and now I'm working on the hood because the hood got fucked up. Just because that's how it goes, Murphy's Law. And
If it can go wrong, it will go wrong, sadly.
a little bit nicer. Let's see the layout real quick. Is
Oh.
the underside. Now I used panel liner on this grid, and I might take it off because I don't know how. It's a little bold.
Yeah, clean it up and stuff.
Yeah, I might just take it off
Entirely?
Well, majorly, because it'll still be some elements there. The only thing that it really kicked out was it let those circles shine. That's what I really wanted to do, let those circles show up. So I'll probably dick around with a Q-tip here a little bit later on. But it worked great on the engine because all of the engine details all show up now, which you couldn't see shit before.
That makes it look like casting, like how any cast parts would have like a roughness to them. It picks it up really nice.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just too bold for that underside, even with all the pre-shading that I did to it. So, and then nothing super fancy, but masked off and painted the interiors of the hubs. There'll be chrome on the outside and then black on the inside, so it looks a little nice and shiny and fancy. And just working on trying to get some tones, lights and darks back and forths inside the tub. I don't know quite what colors I'm gonna go yet, so
on the seats.
Yeah, and the seats and inside the tub itself.
Houndstooth do it. Houndstooth centers do it.
Yeah. What you gotta do is you gotta
it's a Porsche
burgundy interior.
Burgundy with the lime green, Kyle.
Yeah.
No.
Shagawagon.
No. I was thinking about doing what do we have here? Not this. This is interior green. I was thinking about doing a concrete color or a sand.
Like a light gray, whitish.
Because I've got this tan, kind of like a tan or dark tan, like a light brown or gray brown. This color is called concrete. It's not mixed up at all, so it's hard to tell what the fuck it looks like. But I know what it looks like. I also have light neutral tan. I've got a bunch of different tans and sand colors and middle tones and middle stone. And this one's pretty good though. I don't know if it's gonna give me true color or not. But you guys can kind of see that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. See.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's
so that color might look pretty decent.
Tan gray.
Yeah.
Here you go, Brian. This is.
I don't know. Maybe a little too close. What do you got? Oh, here we go. Paul says. Oh God, I'm not gonna put that level of masking detail.
Come on.
I like that.
No.
That's got Shagawagon Gucci written all over it.
That is fancy. I will give you that much. It is very fancy, but I am not going to do that interior. I don't know. Maybe not the concrete though. Now that I look at it next to the green, it doesn't really give me that. It's not giving me vibes. I think I gotta go more brown.
What about like a orange or
I would think a in the brown family, like a camel color would really look nice against the green.
That's what I was thinking, browns or maybe even lighter, something lighter than
a cream.
Yeah, or like darker than cream, but lighter than the
You know,
concrete
you're
brown
heading in that
gray.
burgundy direction. You might as well just settle on.
Yeah.
We're
that
so far
burgundy.
away from burgundy.
I
Peanut
Peanut
said,
butter
like,
guts.
closer to white.
You're getting warmer.
Get out of your fucking mind, guy.
You're getting warmer, Brian.
This is just sand. Yeah, the sand isn't too bad, right? It's so close to the concrete color, but it's a little bit more. It's got like a little bit more, like, mustard to it.
What year is that one? 73?
88.
88?
Oh,
So it's a 911. Yeah,
I
and
saw
they
9/11
made
in the street a couple days ago, actually.
in this green color, or they are shown as being in this green color at the time.
Yeah, so I'm just looking up what color interiors. They definitely
yeah.
have like the beige, like I don't know, really like a peanut buttery color
Right.
one. Black, obviously.
Right. That's what it says in the instructions, is to do it in black, and then do like a, what's it say for the bottom of the tub? Like some fucking blue.
Red.
Field blue. What the fuck? Yeah, red.
Ooh,
It's
isn't it like
red.
a dark gray kind of?
It's just like the red leather. Like, oh. No thanks.
Oh,
I'm
I
a
love
fan, I'm a
red
fan.
leather seats. I wouldn't do it on a green car, but
Oh, I know, man. Come on.
on
This
like
one
a
might be
white
good.
car.
Though. Yeah,
This-
black or
this-
white.
This one might be my jam right here. This one
Some
this
blood
is
red.
another one I picked up at AAA. This is a newer. This is how you can tell Mission Models, new or old. Old black cap, new white cap.
Oh, I have old ones then, because I have old.
And
black
then there's a type of the way the labels are printed is different between the old ones and the new old ones. And the
So
old
different.
ones, the paint is like really
on.
thick, and you have to do a bunch of crazy stuff to it to get it to thin to be the way you want it to. Yeah, this is not gonna be too bad. This is like kind of this is more of like a, looks exactly the same, but it's
Like,
more of a gray.
yeah.
It looks literally almost exactly the same.
It's less khaki, more gray.
Yeah, less khaki, more gray. Of course, I have
There
like
you
a
go.
bunch of regular ass grays too. Like I got medium gray. I could do almost a blue. Like this like really light blue gray.
Ooh, like sea gray.
Yeah. I have a
Oh.
bunch of. I actually have a couple of different ones. This is a U.S. blue gray. I've got Arcadian blue coming up, Shorty. Hi, visitor.
Here, Brian, can you
Luna?
see this?
Luna, say hi to everybody. Oh yeah, 1 second. I'll put you on screen.
Here you go.
Oh, that's nice. The black and gray two-tone.
It's espresso, not espresso. Espresso.
Oh, it's extreme. It's got extra caffeine in it.
Oh,
It
so
almost
it's almost
has
kind
like
of
a little bit of that
no.
burgundy look. A little
Yeah,
bit
well,
of
that's
burgundy
not-
in it.
that ain't burgundy.
what is
Wow.
that, Brian? What is
not
that?
burgundy. That is the color of my favorite drink in the whole wide world, coffee.
Look at
I'm gonna
that.
say bourbon.
That's tight though. I don't mind that. I can see that bigger.
This is
I might be onto something. Little
Oh, that's
burgundy
plaid,
two-tone
though?
gray.
Come on.
houndstooth.
Oh,
Who comes up with the name of these
it
colors?
could be
Listen.
fucking tweed. It could
If
fucking
you-
very well be tweed. All right.
If you're gonna build a Porsche, you know.
Look, man, it's a curbside. All right. It doesn't even have an engine in it. Like what you get is molded into the chassis on the bottom.
You get a shell.
That's fancy. I would like to build a really nice higher end model Porsche. Larry makes a 1 to 20 one of their rallies. Oh, it is nice.
What kind of
I do
carpet is
like.
that, Brian? What kind of carpet is that? It's getting close to burgundy right there.
No, it's not, Kyle. It's not. It's the same as was in the back of the car. Oh, this
Yeah, go to
guy.
the trunk. I bet you there's burgundy in the trunk.
Like this could be good. This one is all right. This is U.S. blue gray.
I would say honestly, I think a beige would go better with the green.
I'm getting weird. Well, this blue actually isn't too bad because it's like a really gray blue. The lighting here, I should actually change this. This is kind of orange. It's orange. So
What's up, Jeff?
make it. There we go. Hey, Jeff. I've been talking about your 1 to 6 scale unicorn shit, man. Everyone says, "Oh my god, that's amazing! I gotta watch that stream." was like, yeah, check out when Jeff is talking about it. The rest of it, doo-doo. No, this one's not too bad either. Oh, I know, that's the same one. That's the US Blue Gray. Then this is Acadian Blue. Oh, that's way bright. Like, that's way bright. You can't even tell. It looks white almost. How bright that blue is. I don't know,
man. I think like the beige color is nicer. Like it would pop with the green a little better. Like
I need that. I do need like a real, like actual camel color. This concrete.
Trying to find a green Porsche
What
with
about
a
middle stone?
good interior.
I can always mix my own color too. I mean, that's not outside the realm of possibilities.
I think against the green, that would either that or just do black and not draw the attention to it.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just phoning it in.
I don't want to do black. Yeah, black is like
to spice it up.
I do have a tendency to do brown interiors with my green cars. That's what I did with the Nova. It was brown and black and white.
Or
About this one.
You know, I'm glad we keep tiptoeing around the obvious.
This is kind of tight. This is middle stone.
Yeah, that could work. I
Right?
think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's more along the lines of
that's
like
kinda
that camel.
like a
And I'm-
green hue to it too.
I'm glad that I changed my ring light to a neutral tone so that it was orange. It was making me look like I was sitting behind Paul. And this is darker. Yeah, this is Grunbraun. German.
That doesn't look bad either, though.
No, it's a little bit more. Has a little bit more orange.
I like the one before that because the
Yeah, I
one
kinda
before
do
that
too, the
has
middle
kinda like
stone.
it has like a green tint to it, so I feel like it would bridge nicely.
That
Or-
one is Middlestone right here.
Could be
What?
burgundy.
Go on, Paul. Go on.
No,
I like where you're heading.
How about plum?
Let them cook. Let them cook. Yeah, a little more purple in there. Yeah.
There you go. Purple violet. The outside of the car would have been beautiful in that color.
Violet purple hue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see what do I have up here to appease you, freaking maniacs.
Just promise us if you love it, you choose it.
What? I don't even know what that means.
You know what it
Jeff
means.
says busy work.
Nobody
Not
knows what
much
it
done
means.
on the
I
head
don't
except
know
printing
what it
weird
means.
shape. Same. Whatever. That's fine. It's all part of the game. Wait, Zach, is that Zach Blyzak? That chimed in nearly 20 minutes ago.
So, I was talking about an origin.
Yeah, that might be. He did say he might stop by. What do I have here? This is very bread brown. It is called Earth Red Brown. Makes sense.
Okay.
It's on point.
That's what I would
So
call
that
it
one's
too.
True to form. I
It
like it.
wouldn't look horrible. I think the other one's a little
dark.
more pop
Right?
to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an accent color. It's not going to
It'd be
be
like-
like full tailoring.
Kyle, the tub is a solid piece.
But masking tape, Brian.
This
Masking
is
tape.
one piece.
Well,
It has
maybe
five
the seats.
sides.
Maybe
It
the
is
seats.
almost a closed cube. I'm not gonna get in there
That
and
dashboard?
do like ridiculous masking in there to do shit that I've done before for the Nova and for whatever else and for the bug. Because the bug's interior is mecha blue and like a creamy white.
But Brian,
So
But this
that
is
was
a
all
Porsche.
masked out.
This is a
Fancy.
Porsche.
I
it's a
know
Porsche.
what car I'm building.
It's a man's burgundy.
It is Zach says. It is Zach. Fantastic. What's
It is
up,
a majestic
Oh.
car.
Zach?
It's very-
Nice.
It's very educated. It has
No one
many
cares
bound
about
leather books.
Novas. They
Oh
made
my
the
God.
interiors out of Novas with recycled Coke cans.
I almost, Jesus, no, they didn't. I almost made the car. Because I got two colors when I was at the store buying paint. I got two acrylic colors, and this other acrylic color we're gonna see. I gotta make sure it's really mixed up. Oh man, I'm glad I didn't choose this one, guys. It's kind of crazy. I don't know what I'll paint with this, but I've got it.
Oh, a pinkish
That
red.
would have looked good. I don't know.
Like a
what you're talking
magenta?
about.
Yeah, I know, right? It is not
Yeah.
like a magenta, Kyle. I appreciate you, bud. It is iridescent cherry red.
I've seen
okay.
pink Porsches before. Actually, the what model is that? The GT2 or 3? GT3, I think they make in pink.
I've seen a
Nice.
couple of them as well.
Yeah,
Mainly they were mainly
there's
like kit cars.
an RWB one that's like in like a pale pink though, like a Sakura pink.
Oh. Like the
I had
flower?
also grabbed this candy red enamel, cherry ruby red enamel candy to go over.
That's an enamel?
Yeah.
I did not know that they made enamels. I thought all of their paints were lacquers.
Oh yeah, Alki has enamels.
Right there, enamel.
It's called, wait, that's so confusing. It's an alkali lacquer enamel?
This candy.
It's
Or
just
is
like the
alkali
name.
lacquer just the whole name of that
It's
company?
just like the
Yeah,
whole name of the
Alpha
company.
Lacquer is the name. Yep, candy
Huh.
ruby red enamel.
Okay.
Yeah, threw me off too.
Oh,
Pabs pointed it
yeah.
out. He stuck his little pabby finger at it and was like, "Hey,
That's an
don't make a
enamel.
mistake." I would have made a mistake if I had to. So thank you, Chris. Thank you.
Yeah, I would have.
I made a mistake. It was one of my like first builds. I thought it was lacquer, and then I went to go use lighter fluid to clean some parts, and I was like, "Oh, what?"
Your heart sinks. You get that sick feeling in your stomach, and you're like,
It's like, wait,
"Oh,
this hasn't
oh,
happened
no.
before. What is this?
what happened? What did I do?"
And that's when I went to the internet and was educated. I was like, oh,
Most definitely. Ah,
that's good. to
Kyle.
know.
So, not only did I order a new microphone cable
Uh-huh.
today, I ordered a new mic boom
Ooh.
because this one is on well beyond its last legs. I have like hammered and reformed the part that mounts into the desk.
Uh-huh.
It is not good.
So
Ultraviolet purple.
does that mean
Yeah.
it's not good enough to be donated to a certain somebody that we both know?
Julio don't want this shit. This is a $10 mic boom that I got 7 years ago.
Oh, okay.
This needs to get thrown away.
Look, I extended the neck. Now we can actually look down.
Oh,
and
nice.
up.
Yeah, that's one problem with those, right? I was talking
Yeah.
with
Because
this kid,
most you can do is
Julian.
left and right and a little bit of tilt, but you really couldn't do up and down. So if you
Yeah,
want
it's
him
not-
kind of like doing the lunge thing or something like that, nah, it ain't happening. So
I was talking with this kid Julian down in Australia, and he was talking about the Zaku Warrior and the resin, that the dress up for it, which is fucking really nice. And I mentioned our Four Horsemen build off, and then I thought back to adding, I think it was like 10 or 11 millimeters to the neck
I think
Of
I
mine?
only did like 8 on mine.
to like so that it could like move its head, because otherwise it's like it
Oh,
looks
it
like
is-
Ed from 90 Day Fiance. He's like,
It is locked in those
you
shoulders.
know,
Like,
dude,
hey
it's not-
guys, I wish I could look up, but that's about as much as I can do.
And I mean, I know that guy was like an Olympic swimmer or something, and he hit his head on the bottom of the pool and messed up his neck really bad, and that's why he has the weird neck. But yeah, it doesn't change the fact that neck needs on those Zaku Warriors needs to be extended, and it makes sense that it would be on the goof too. Didn't do that with mine. Man, that reminds me, I have a goof custom that I started working on in like 2017. That's like in a box somewhere. I started doing like custom modifications to the head so that you could like paint it and do the stuff that I was like imitating things that I saw in like Gundam Weapons.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's where it's a good place to start. Oh wait a minute, we have
I'll be right back.
GT. Yep. Oh, GT3RS and ultraviolet purple. Fancy.
It's a shame that they've already done purple. Then you can do a purple car.
I still can. The next, I'm already lined up to do the next build off with these guys too, as well as I'm finishing the DeLorean. So hopefully, because we got this big weekend coming up, Kyle, right? You and I both do. I'm gonna finish the Porsche in theory because the only things that are left is just really the interior, and put the fucker together. It's almost done. Like my parts tree looks like this is all that's left.
Ah, just a dash and a couple little interior stuff.
Yeah, it's it's really the dash, and the side mirrors. I think I'm gonna keep black. I'm doing the trim on the headlights black. I still have to mask. I guess I still have to mask the whole body and do all the black work on the body, like the grill and the back, on the boot. We'll call it, but it's not on the boot because it's the hood. The rear bonnet. There you go for you Australians out there, and I guess the people in the UK. But yeah, so I'm gonna mask that stuff off and then do all the headlights and stuff like that too. But that's not too bad. So I really want to get into trying to do more of this DeLorean and get into painting some of these details that I've made.
Isn't the DeLorean for another group build as well? Or did
It's for the same group. It's the same group, and the build passed. But I'm finishing the car because it's kick-ass, and I want to do a really good job on it because I love Back to the Future, and I think that it's really rad, and I always wanted to. So that's why I'm continuing to work on it. Not like I'm like, oh, the build-off's over. Fuck it, I'm not going to do it. Like,
on to the show.
No way, man. I want to make this thing nice.
Yeah, I'm kind of bad about that when build-offs finish. I'm just like, well, the priority is no longer there, so I'll get to you when I get to you, and then I never get to you. So I've been like, no, let's finish strong. Let's get it done.
Yeah, I mean, hey, man, that's part of the reason why we're not armored coring.
Yeah. Instead, I'm building another kit.
Was it Lorenz that said they?
I think so. He an hour in, he's loving it.
Yeah, played the first hour, and that's not horrible. And Mateus also says that it's amazing, which I agree. I'm sure it is. I haven't played on forever. How tall is it, Jeff? That's
12 feet, right? If you built the whole kit, it'd be 12 feet.
Matthias says no more shelf queens. Look, Matthias, I have shelf queens. But they will get done. And the idea is to keep rolling with the painting and keep moving on it, so that while I get started on doing some of the stuff with the DeLorean, maybe I'll paint that bust that I put together for the OMC that I still have to paint. It's all ready to go. Or the core build off, which is, you can see it right there, right here on skewers. It's been on skewers for more than 2 years now.
You got a fair amount of that done too, Brian.
In that exact same spot. No, yeah, it's really very ready to go. When I last unearthed it from its 2 years ago and sprayed it down, I did a bunch of filling work and sanding work and got it really prepped, and it's ready to go. All I have to do is mask it off and paint it. I even have like a little I have a pile of models over here. It's very cantankerous. I even have a color pattern.
Hey, okay, so you just gotta do the work now.
I found this a long time ago and saved it on my phone and then emailed it to myself and then printed it out. I don't know what it's from. I found it on Pinterest, I think. It's like a what if Dinan Zon or Dinan Kai from Crossbone. So, but yeah, I like that the purples and the grays and the yellows and shit. It's gonna be really nice. So.
God, sanding ABS is a nightmare.
Yeah,
it's too soft.
Yeah, it's just gumming up. It's not even like coming off.
Nice.
Clip from last week's stream.
Yeah, the nice. You made a clip of it. That's cool. I don't know how to do that. Get some sidelight. Brandon says place an order today for a few MSG detail parts. Nice. The Minishima file plates and wave
Minishima.
fancy wave T square.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
yeah,
a classic.
yeah. That bad
I
boy
don't
on
have one
deck.
of those, but
Oh
oh,
yeah.
look at that. See, I
Many
don't even have one
years.
of those.
It has been of great service to me. That and the Zona square as well. This thing is a
I have one
amazing.
somewhere in one of these drawers, but I will not be finding it right now.
I don't have.
It's in there, I swear. Trust me.
I don't have a square like that.
You don't?
Nope, I don't have any little squares.
I'm surprised,
Really?
right?
I have regular drawing squares, but I don't have any little machinist
Okay.
squares for like little size stuff.
What
I
do you
guess
get the man that
get-
has it all? Squares.
Squares.
I mean, I got these squares, but they're more for drawing. I got all these French curves for drawing too. I got all these. Some of these are masks. Dang it. I got all these templates for doing architectural stuff, and then I
Draw
got.
me like one of your French curves.
Ha!
Heyo.
My computer is on a rickety set of drawers, which is why everything was shaking while I was digging through that shit. Using a POS plastic T-square. I hate it because I can dig right in the plastic drawer. We'll do that. I hear you.
Yeah, I don't know where I put mine.
Nice.
I have a wave one, I believe, as well.
I do all my scribing against metal stuff though. So
That's where it comes to handy.
Yeah, I don't think I use T-square just for like getting a 90-degree edge more than anything. I don't think
Sure.
I've scribed against it.
Yeah,
cheeky,
I mean-
man, I don't know about like holding down something on the piece of plastic as I'm scribing, like especially considering most of the pieces of plastic are, you're like,
very small.
Itty bitty tiny.
I usually
I
only,
might,
I usually only do that too when I'm trying to like cut a strip
Yeah.
out of another thing.
yeah, I might use the T-square to like draw and then put tape.
Yeah, I'll do that. Like I'll just get a line and then I have something to guide off of.
Yeah.
Straight edge.
But
I know I do have hi Craig's
Yeah,
Oh,
I have,
so
a-
do I.
I have a bunch
yeah,
of
from
those.
Craig.
I haven't used those. but I need to.
Colin's great jigs. I still,
Yeah, Colin's.
those bad boys
I got the
out,
green
yeah.
ones.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah, mine are
like my
blue.
favorite ones are those. Yeah, the
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 offsets?
drop downs. Yeah.
Mhm.
I've got those over on the desk. I don't
Yeah,
use
they're-
them nearly
they're
as much,
nice.
but yeah, they are nice. They
Mhm.
come in handy.
Or the spaced ones that are like an L that go from whatever it is, like I don't know if they start at 0.5 millimeters and work their way up. Because what I use them for is just like how offset something's gonna be from like the bottom of a part.
Mhm.
So like rather than trying to break out like the ruler and try to measure
You
a
just
0.5
put the jig
millimeter,
there,
you just put
bang,
that and
bang.
I know that's a 0.5 millimeter.
That's smart. That's actually a good way of doing it.
And then you can use that as a straight edge to draw a line. So if you're gonna if you want to scribe something a 0.5 millimeter from the edge, put that there, draw a line, take it off, put your tape down.
And then Bob's your uncle.
Bob is my uncle. Uncle Bab.
Bab. Yeah, I think that's a good amount of height.
What's up, Ty Furious? What's going on, bud?
It's definitely a good height. Though there is limited movement because of the damn collar. Great. Oh well. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm trying to try to duty dad as much as I can on this kit and then get back to painting this weekend and then go from there.
Yeah, I took the last couple of days off. I've been under the water, but I
Uh-oh. That's not
finish the
Yeah, let's get
body. Ooh, don't drop it. That would fucking suck. But the whole body of the Hayakushiki's done. His binders,
Nice.
the whole deal. He's decaled. He's coated as much as he's getting. So I just gotta finish up the weapons. But I finished this up like very, very beginning of this week, and then
Good shit.
wasn't feeling great, so I didn't paint anymore.
No, it's fine. You're getting that much closer though, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm ready to be done, man.
Yeah,
You've been ready for years.
You are so close to the deadline too. It's like only been a couple of years.
The 5th anniversary of the contest.
For you. Oh wait, here's I forgot I put my watch down to charge like a couple of hours ago. I looked at it like I had already walked 11,000 steps and burned 3,500 calories. It didn't really matter if I was wearing my watch anymore. What else is it going to tell me? That I'm fucking crazy?
Maybe the time.
What is that?
You need to rest.
No rest. I'm not even doing anything. I'm just being me. Pew, pew, pew. Yeah, so I don't know what I'm doing about this hood. If I want to try to keep going back to green, part of me really wants to, or do I go just leave it black?
I don't know. How does it look as a whole?
It's the thing about that. Why I really don't want to is that another guy that I'm associated with in a way on Instagram, it's in the same group. His name is coincidentally also Brandon. He did that with his build, and I think it was an escort or something like that he did. But
yeah,
it had
okay.
And it was almost a similar kind of green too, like very neon green with a black hood and like black spoiler and shit like that. So I'm already doing the black spoiler and stuff because that's how the cars were done. So I think I should probably stick with keeping it all green. And if it goes, because then
I would keep it all green.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna probably keep it all green.
I was trying to think. I know the more modern Porsches, I've seen them with black hoods or carbon hoods. But
yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen one on like a 70s, 80s body style.
Yeah, like an old one.
Yeah.
Unless it was like
they were all solid colored. They weren't too toned.
Part of me wants to get another one of these and do it with like mismatched corner panels and like all like rusty and roached out and like
like a barred find Porsche.
Yeah, like streaky and like
that'd be cool,
weather beaten, and yeah, that'd be kind of fun. I think
that'd be cool to do as like a little diorama in like a little shack or barn, that's
right,
all
with all
rusty
like
on
the
outside
hay and shit. Like, oh, that'd be tight. Some bird's nests and stuff on it, and some chickens and stuff like that.
Yeah,
like streaks of bird down the windows and shit. That'd be kind of cool. I like that. Yeah.
On some of the newer Porsches, I think like the newer GT2s, you can get a dry carbon hood, and they actually the logo is not like the front emblem is not an emblem. It's actually just a sticker because it's lighter than the emblem itself. They go that crazy. And it's dry carbon, so it's not like it doesn't weigh anything, and it's structurally very sound. It's pretty cool. But it's like a $15,000 hood.
Oh my god.
Yeah, see, the car that I currently drive, I don't think it's worth $15,000 altogether.
But if I had the money, I'd probably do it.
I don't know.
It depends on how much money I have. Like if I have just
that's what I mean. If I had enough money I didn't care about a $15,000 hood.
That's true. If you have like fuck you money, then I suppose, then it would be all right. It would make sense.
Yeah. Be like, fuck the hood. I want the whole car made out of that.
I mean, when you have fuck you money, you have to spend it with the intent of telling all the poor people, fuck you. I'm rich. You're nothing.
Oh, here's what I would do, guys. If I won the lottery but didn't tell anybody, if I just randomly showed up with like a mint Bronco 2 from like 78, that was
that's your tell.
That was like metallic blue flake with like white white like details on it and shit like that. Like, yeah. Then you would know.
Yeah, those old Broncos are nice.
They're way expensive and hard to find now. So
Mm,
to have one that
not like a mid '90s all white one.
No, not one that may have ran away from cops on a hot pursuit through California.
Through LA's freeway system. No, man, no.
I hear those are really hard to find.
I think it was was it a Dodge? Was it a Ram or what was it? Dodge made a
Ram Charger. That's the like the SUV with the 2 doors.
Yep. Yeah.
But like real blocky one, 70 something.
Yeah, real blocky. Like
that was
lots
their
of room to
answer
carry
to
in
the
the
Bronco
back.
too.
Yeah, those ones are tight as well.
Ex-brother-in-law had a 911 Turbo S. Cool car. Yeah.
Zoom.
One of my old supervisors in the maintenance, he had an old 911. He was such a loser. He did like a photo shoot. Not to say that because he owned the car he was a loser, but just a little fun anecdote. He did like a photo shoot out at one of the deserts and stuff around New Mexico, and they had like a model on it. And at the time, we happened to zoom in on said photo to discover that the model was photoshopped in. We're like, bro. Yeah, no one really liked the guy. His only claim to fame was the fact that he owned a 911. I think it was like a 78. And even then, he's just like, come on, man. Just leave the car. You don't have to Photoshop a supermodel in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Hell.
Well, we're trying to impress you.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. I think if I won the lotto, I would it would be a problem because I wouldn't be able to pick out a car. I'd be like, all right, we're all set on this, and then I would be like, no.
Well, you would buy it, have your fun with it, sell it to buy the other cars. Like, I don't think I would. There's a couple I would keep, but I would buy a couple, drive them until I got bored with them, and get rid of them, just for the fact that I can afford it and experience it.
I don't think I'd be able to sell it though. I'd probably just collect it and end up with a stupid amount of cars in a garage somewhere.
It's like you died from carbon monoxide poisoning from all the cars. For some reason,
kind of like run them all. Did with Gundam models.
Yeah. I have to have them all.
Yeah, that was how that started. I would watch an anime, so I'd watch Zeta and be like, man, I want a kit of that. I want a kit of that. I want a kit of that, and then I would just buy them all.
And there's a lot of kits in Zeta.
Right. So I have a stupid amount of master grades for every series.
Yes, like you can see one of my stacks. So if I go here, those are all the high grades. The master grades are under the desk here. There's some under this desk. And then the rest of them are all in a corner right there. I'm surrounded by... Wait, let me get myself oriented. So there's all the high grades. There's a PG or two down the bottom to give it stability. And then a bunch of them are hiding on the desk.
Only for stability.
Yeah, you gotta be structural about your kits. And then all the other ones are over there in the corner. So that's like from the ground up, 3-4 rows with a what's it called? What's his name? Big chunky boy, lobster chunky boy, right there, holding up the middle.
Oh, right.
The Nightingale.
Yeah.
And I have only shame to be had with my backlog. I'm just like, I need to sell some of these, but I was like, don't sell it. You might want to build it. It's like, oh.
I understand that. I have kits kind of like around me, but I don't really have like the stash like I used to have at the spot. I mean, that's where it always starts. It starts like by your desk and then grows to the point where you can't contain it anymore.
Yeah, it gets bad.
I have like
so the closet that's like you can see the glass. This is a glass door.
Yep,
it's a double closet, like a probably.
There's 2 glass doors that.
Yeah. That's completely.
That's a total Florida thing, by the way.
Like completely filled with kits, floor to ceiling.
Oh, God, you gotta go. Did you take the shelves out just so you can put in all the kits?
Yeah, there's nothing in there. There's like it's completely empty and it's just.
I still have. I mean, minus add-ons, I still have like 50 models here.
You have the rest of it in storage, right?
Active. Yeah. I still have like 2 way more than 200 models in storage.
Whew.
And then my
I don't know what I
add-ons,
would do with that
there's
many.
what is there like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 24, 26 sets of aftermarket stuff extra.
Oh,
Yep. Problematic. And then
got the
when I
kitchen
started,
settings,
you
Brian,
know,
right here.
then these are just like books. There's like
Yeah. Yeah.
double bookshelves of books, and then another bookshelf over here of books.
Manga and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like
No manga. Those are all just novels.
The
Oh.
desk I have my computer on is also a bookcase. I was smart. I was like, oh, I'll just make the desk, and then half it will be a bookcase because I had to get rid of it. So there's all my books live.
Oh, nice.
I do have my
And
like
then
modeling
drawers.
magazines and books separate, and I have
Yeah.
Separated.
I do have a handful of mangas, and I have a handful of like DVDs, Blu-rays, games, stuff like that.
Gotta
But
keep them separated.
this is like this same bookshelf over
Mhm.
here is just all books, and I'm out of space completely.
Yeah, I'm about to say you don't have room for any new volumes, do you?
No, not really. I gotta figure that out.
We're in the same boat here in the house. We have like all of our bookshelves look like this.
Books,
Yeah.
books. You have to, when you have to vertically, you have to go
Yeah.
horizontal. That's when you know you have two of your books. Like, well, I
And my
can't lay
books
them
over
side
here.
by side, so I got to stack them on top of each other.
Those ones there, all stacked up, double, doubles. In the bedroom, I have all of my manga, my berserks, and all that stuff. They're all stacked up on top of my dresser, like all packed on top of each other and stacked back. And then
That's where all my
then-
manga are in our bedroom. Amy gave me a nice little nook in her corner of books. She's like, "Here, you can put all your stuff here." So I just jam it all in that corner, so I don't have to bring it in the office.
Luckily,
In the living room,
I
there are
mainly read
4 more
manga on my
bookcases that are all
phone.
4? Oh,
And then there are like 5 or 6 stacks of probably like easily 20 books high that are just
wow.
like stacked
Just
up against the
haven't
wall.
been organized and have
They
a
can't
place
go.
to
There's
live.
nowhere to go. There's nowhere.
Oh, man.
to go.
I hate that that's a problem because I'm a physical person, so I like physical
Yeah.
media. I like books. We have 3 bookcases full of DVDs. The only part where there's no DVDs is the bottom. It's where you put like board games and stuff like that. But the other 4 shelves are just full of DVDs.
All of our DVDs are in boxes in the back
Mhm.
bottom of the closet. They aren't even accessible.
You gotta display them, Brian. Even if you don't watch them, you gotta display.
I would
them.
love to. My anime would fill up this whole bookshelf over here, which is full of books and models. Like,
Yeah, you gotta have like I don't know. I just like having books. It makes you feel cozy in a house when you've got physical
Yeah.
items.
I
It's
agree.
a weird feeling.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know why I read manga on my phone. It's like the
Mhm.
one thing that I just don't like. Maybe a handful. I bought like a handful of the Origin ones, and I think that's
Mm.
probably about it.
Well, that you have to be careful because I mean, like One Piece
They
alone,
take a-
you would have a room full of just for that one
Yeah.
series. So yeah, you have to kind of watch it, read it
I'm
online
interested in
to
One Piece.
save space.
I would maybe get Tokyo Ghoul. That's probably the only thing I could consider myself buying.
I've only got a couple. Berserk is one of them. I've got the Evangelion light novels. I was reading this one. I don't think I have an issue in here. I don't. I can't even remember the name. It starts with a G. I've got all the volume 7. It's only 12. There's a couple other ones I got into, but yeah, I do most of it online as well because I'm just like, that's no
Yeah.
way. It gets expensive too. Much cheaper
Like,
online.
There is something about like a book. I like having like the physical.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sometimes if I'm really into a series, I'll download it on my phone so I can read it like on the go. You know, if I'm
Mm-hmm.
sitting at my desk or something at lunch. And this is only like the socially unacceptable books. All the normal books are downstairs on display.
You gotta have the cultured books. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, these are all high culture
Yeah.
novels. I wouldn't want to share those with the normal people that come in the house.
Only the special,
Yeah.
most keen get to come into this room and see these glorious
Oh.
books.
The privileged few can see the anime titty books.
y'all are some weirdos.
You have to earn.
I
your
don't know
way
what it
into
is
this
about, like-
sacred.
Yeah, like the light novels can be non-trashy at all, and they still have anime titties on the front.
Oh yeah,
They're
that's how they. You know what you're gonna get. You're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah.
It
this
could be
book
about a
gets dirty.
librarian, and they're like, "All right, we're big titties on the front. Otherwise, they'll never buy it.
Yeah. Like, this is the most boring story ever. But for some reason, I bought every single volume because the cover art's so majestic.
So majestic. Wow.
I'm not gonna lie. I almost bought into certain manga because the cover art was like, oh wow, I bet you it's pretty spicy based on this.
Oh,
Yeah,
you gotta be
like-
careful, bro.
Okay, there's some spicy. Well, so like most of the bookstores we go, they shrink wrap the
Yep.
R18 books. You can't even like see the dirty stuff. That's how you know it's really good because you can't even see it. It's like it's behind a locked door. You're like, oh, what is it?
High School DxD is like that. It's saran wrapped at Barnes and Noble.
There was one. I was looking through. I rarely buy a new manga, but I'm always curious what's out there just in case. And I came across one, and it was like reincarnated as a sex slave or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck? We're gonna write about anything in this day and age.
you could be reincarnated as a vending machine. So
Yeah.
Now there's a
remember.
story.
maybe I wouldn't know.
See, I took a picture of it. I was like, what in the world? I meant to send it to you guys in the chat, but I forgot. There's no way it was that long ago that I took that picture.
I feel you there, man.
Oh, here you go. So it's known. It's from J.K. Harasawa is a sex worker in another world.
Yeah,
That's
so
the name of the book.
I know JK is their Japanese for a high school girl.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, how about Haru? Haru?
I
Are you?
believe that might be her name. I've not read it, but it's a light novel, and like if I remember, like the whole class, like it's like one of those, the whole class gets not
Transported
reincarnated, but transported to another world, and
Yeah.
for whatever reason, she ends up basically as a prostitute because she doesn't
Yeah,
have any like power.
I was reading the synopsis for it, and yeah, it's basically that. And then I was like, well, there's more than one volume, so let me look at some of the other ones to see like where this goes. Apparently, it gets pretty interesting. I honestly was kind of
Haru
intrigued.
Haru is her name.
Okay, so high school Haru is a sex worker in another world. But I was reading it like apparently she has to go and like get involved because I think she goes in, she doesn't have powers, so she ends up getting into that line of work instead.
Yeah, but she's a
I was
lady of the
reading, though,
night.
Yeah, like apparently though she's like so and so friends in danger, so she has to step in. I was like, oh, then I'm intrigued. Like my horniness has now been surpassed by genuine interest. I'm like, whoa, what adventures does she get into?
Oh my god.
when you start watching porn for the plot points.
I was like, now that I've got my post nut clarity,
It's like,
let's see what the
like
story's really about.
that's the Winnie the Pooh meme, right? Where it's like he's with the top hat on.
We're slowly getting more intellectual. Like, oh.
I can't believe that wasn't a real plumber.
Yeah. Why is the pizza man still there? He gave her the pizza. So many mysteries in this story.
Did you guys see the Jeff
I don't have
stash?
anything that cultured.
You guys see
Why
the
does she
Jeff
keep saying
stash is 3 or
Need
4
all-
rooms now?
Oh my god!
3
I
different rooms. Is that what he said?
3 or 4 rooms now.
Oh
It's done
man,
unchecked, he
You
says.
have to buy a new house just to store your
Yeah.
stash.
He's got a
I
pretty
have
sizable
been
stash.
confined to this room. That is.
Lorenz's riveting story so far.
He knows. He knows. I tell you, like, again, I got drawn in by the horny, but like, I actually decided to read the synopsis. I was like, okay, what's this about?
Drawn in by the horny,
You
stayed
got-
for the
stayed-
plot points.
Save for the plot. That's how you know it's a good story. You're like, it's all of the senses. But yeah, I was like, just the 2 like synopsis I read, I was like, oh, okay. I wonder what's getting. This is getting ramped up pretty quickly. I'm like, I am intrigued. I want to know more. Which is why I took a picture
Do
of
you
the
want to
cover.
know more?
It's great when you're trying to explain this to people who like don't know any like thing about anime.
Just
So
to
what's the
reading
story
name.
about? I'm like,
Yeah.
well, you know.
It's mentally in your head. You're like, I probably shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah.
I don't know why I brought this up. Why I'm putting myself in this situation. This is uncomfortable. Damn it.
No, it's really wholesome. Like, yeah, yes, it's a harem, but he really loves all the girls for their individuality.
There we go.
I mean,
I downplayed the lines
it
a
down?
little bit.
Yeah.
that looks pretty good.
Right?
I like that.
Yeah, it looks okay. It's hard because I put the panel liner on it several days ago. So
Oh yeah, it's kind of a little stubborn.
yeah, it's more than a little stubborn. It's in weird spots. So.
I find myself in those situations when I have to explain certain things to my coworkers who are not remotely adjacent to this type of culture, anime and Gunpla and all that. So they asked like something I did. I was like, oh yeah, and then I want to like talk more because I'm super excited, but then I'm like, know your audience, Kyle. Just give them some bullshit answer and move on.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in this hole. Come out looking like a weirdo. Like just beat them enough to contribute to the conversation, but move on and it'll be fine.
Oh, your workmates, man. They get it, don't they? They get the trip.
Oh man, I made another comment today. Thankfully, I didn't alienate everybody in the room in the process, but it was kind of a funny one. Oh, so I have to now share. I used to have a workmate in my office, but he recently left the company to go work somewhere else. Good dude. We really clicked off. But now, since one of our coworkers is coming back from maternity leave, her office was like being. Someone was staying in her office while she was gone. So now he's going to come moving in my office. And I remember making a comment to one of my coworkers. I was like, oh man, I kind of liked being alone. It sucks that Brandon's going to be in the office with me. It's a shame because now I can't openly fart. I was like, man, because these past 2 days I've been passing so much gas. I just like casually off the cuff, just here's a little TMI for you. She just shook her head. I mean, I've known her for years, so she's well aware of the type of person I am. But,
she knows all about the Kyle.
Mm-hmm. Without a shadow of a doubt.
There we go. That's better. I mean, see, with the shading, it didn't need any almost panel lining at all. Yeah. So just leaving it around the circular components, because those ones actually, because I didn't like, believe it or not, I didn't pull out the infinity and just put a hello compressor.
Perfect timing right there.
I should be spraying. But I didn't like highlight around all them shits. I just highlighted the whole panel. So that's not too bad.
No, that's actually pretty good.
Still
more tasteful.
It's a little bold. It's okay. Just in case, somebody picks my fucking model up and judges the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm. You're ready.
And if you guys heard the most recent Sprue Cutters Union, but they go into talking about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's on my to-do list to listen to. I was going to listen to it at work, but I got distracted by meetings. So I was like, well, it can't be listen to a podcast while in a meeting.
Yeah.
Got to contribute.
It takes me some days I can get, for you guys, it takes me like a week to get through it just because it's I can only listen to 10, 15 minutes at a time.
Yeah, because you're always being interrupted and stuff. That's why I listen to when I drive, but I only have a 15-minute drive, so it takes me a couple days to go through episodes.
Yeah, I have a 10-minute commute to work. Sometimes tomorrow on a Friday, occasionally it'll just be really dead. Like everyone will, half the building is off.
They're all hiding. That's what it is.
Yeah.
They're hiding and waiting to leave. They're like, all right, if they don't see me, they don't know if I'm here or not, and I can leave a little early today.
So I'm gonna start being a dick, and when you come to my office, I'm gonna give you something to do, so they stop coming to my office.
Perfect. Foolproof.
I guess
the AA will come in and she'll be like, "Is there anything you need from me?" I'm like, "Just don't just leave me alone for the day."
Hold up, here we go. Jeff says update on that U-Paul 1K filler putty that he was talking about. I remember looking into it or whatever, checking it out, and it says that he tried it out. It dries in 5 minutes and it doesn't fucking shrink.
Ooh,
which is rad for a putty.
Yeah,
especially for
putty.
The volume that he's gonna be using it in. Not just a little nick over maybe a fuck up or something.
Yeah, it's not like a miscue by a scribe. He's looking at like filling the surfaces of it's FDM printed, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so got some stair steps on it. Oh fuck! Speaking of which,
yes. Got me on a cliffhanger, Brian. What's going on?
So yeah, I just got done with Build Sideways like Wednesday, maybe Tuesday.
The latest
Wednesday, something
episode?
like that. Yeah.
What'd you think?
It was good. Yeah.
We're actually getting a lot of interaction with this episode.
Oh, yeah, I know
what that is.
Kyle sent me this.
What is it, Brian?
It's very happy.
It comes with a smiley face?
It did. It comes with a smiley.
Mine didn't come with a smiley face.
It is a. I'm not gonna. I'm totally taking it all apart here. It is a fucking resin printer.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was
Now
cheaper
what
to
are you
buy
gonna
him
do
a
with
new
yourself?
one than to send him my old one.
I know, and I was like, "What? Are you kidding me?" And then I looked into it online, and I was like, "Oh my god, he's right! It is so much cheaper to buy a brand new one than it would be just to ship it, because shipping in this country right now is absolutely asinine."
I still owe you that F4 book that I have. I'm gonna ship that out
okay.
later.
It'll come around.
But so I bought. Speaking of which, the question might be, what are you gonna do with your old resin printer, Kyle? Well, dear listener, I have the answer for you. I like this one-sided conversation we're having, guys. Anyway, I actually looked into it. I'm gonna upgrade the LCD screen and some of the other components and bring it up to almost 4K capability.
Oh, cool.
So what would normally take like 8 hours to print, I can almost cut that in half to 4 hours to do it. So it's essentially going from an RGB screen to a mono screen, monochromatic, and that really ups the ante on it. So I was like, well, if I might as well have it. I can print smaller parts with it and stuff like that. So I was like, well, it only cost me $50 to upgrade it. So figured, why not?
Sure.
Wow. So that way I can bring new life to an old printer.
Yeah, fantastic.
But yeah, the one you have is 4K, and it should be like able to do the same print in 2 hours.
Yeah, dude. It looks really, really nice. I was checking it out online. It looks fucking fantastic. Thank you, 3000.
Hey, you're welcome. Merry, happy Christmas, birthday, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah. Yeah.
For a minute, yeah.
Krampus.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to get you back somehow.
Don't worry about it.
Someday.
But yeah,
It'll
I was looking, because I'm always looking at Anycubic because the sales are always on. And I was looking, going, I've priced how much it's going to cost to ship this thing, and that was 2 months ago. Just buy him a new one. Fucking, it's like it's going to cost me the same. And I really want you to have a resin printer and try it out. So I was like,
yeah, thank you.
Give him a new one.
Not to mince words or whatever, but Maddings was a little disheartened.
He was.
Yeah, because he's like Scratch Builder, and he's like, "Oh, am I the only one that's going to be Scratch building?" And it's like, come on, man.
No, I don't think you're ever going to stop Scratch building.
Scratch building? Come on.
I mean, so here's the thing. Like, I still Scratch build, and I 3D print heavily. It's just there's something, especially when you have to translate measurements into the 3D space. My brain can't comprehend that. A lot of people amazingly can do that. I go, all right, I know what my dimensions are. Bam, you can work angles in a digital space. For me, I have to like physically look at it in reference to the part I'm using it on or doing. So I have to do it in physical space to make sense of it. So if I'm creating it from scratch and I have no known measurements, I would prefer doing it the old school way than 3D. Now, like when I did the truck, yeah, it was much easier because I knew the dimensions, I knew all of the scaling, I had imagery that I could use for reference to make the lines. It was fucking cake. It was a much simpler process than if I was going to try to scratch build it. So I think there's the best of both worlds. You just pick whichever system works. But yeah, I don't think you're going to step away from it.
Just being able to 3D print like figures and stuff is really,
that's where
really
I think
cool.
you're going to stand the most to gain in that. Like 3D printing stuff for your models, probably not going to happen unless you like already have designed stuff. But you're going to be doing a lot more in figures, which that's what I spend a lot of my time on. I mean, I've got a shit ton of these fuckers sitting on my desk right now. And eventually I'm going to try my hand at painting more like I did that goblin. But, this is where I really use it. Just printing out busts galore. I do occasionally design stuff. Like I designed that case I showed you guys
Hi, Jeff.
last
Hi,
week.
Jeff.
But that's FTM, you know, it's kind of a different spiel, but
Yeah.
you know.
I feel like it opens up to, even for an artist as well, because like let's say you were a sculptor, like you can sculpt a figure and you may not have the means to get that produced, but you vector it and sell the 3D file for people to print out themselves.
Yeah.
Like where you,
Well,
you
I mean,
maybe couldn't,
Brian
like you
can
couldn't
dabble
have,
in it a lot.
right.
Yeah.
Because I see that a lot where you like pay for the file and then you print it yourself, and I think that's pretty cool. That medium is open to people.
Sure.
Yeah.
I agree. And there's certain things out there that are kind of like half-assed done in the scale modeling market that I think I would be all right at modeling and sorting out. So I've been talking with some people about a couple of different things.
Yeah. We could do the best of both worlds. Print out a thing, cut off what you don't like, put on details on it. I mean, much like with resin kits, you know, you can make it better.
Yeah. It's like the dump molds that I made from that Star Wars Death Star kit. One that has all the square panels. I made all these dump molds, and then I just poured parts of the dump molds and got hundreds of Greeblies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
I still
if,
do
like...
that.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Go ahead, Paul. Well, I was going to say, I took a bunch of Greeblies and then made a silicone mat, and I've made copies of them a bunch.
I don't know if, like, thinking of, you know, like building Gunpla specifically, like someone like Tim, for instance, like his style would really translate that heavily into 3D printing anyway. Like,
no,
you know, he's adding details, but I would think it would take him longer to 3D print his details than to scratch build them himself.
Yeah. Unless you're making complete replacement of parts, you're not modifying existing parts. It doesn't make sense to do, because you have to fabricate it online. Then you have to proof to make sure your scale is right and it works. It's just too much to that. Like, unless you're replacing parts entirely or making like a conversion kit, scratch building is always going to be superior in my eyes in handling that.
I just see it as a tool, like anything else. Like,
that is exactly how I look at it as well. It's a tool, and I'm going to be able to like print Einstein the dog for Back to the Future.
Yes, you can.
Right. Yeah, stuff like
because
that's really cool.
They don't sell that model anywhere, but I think that I saw some files out there.
You probably did, yeah.
Yeah, for
people are really good about making that stuff.
I might be able to find, you know, a similar enough.
Or
buy the file.
The Mr. Is it Mr. Toast? Whatever the thing is. Remember
Mr. Fusion? I have that.
Mr. Fusion.
It came with.
Did it came with
the model? Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, so it came with everything to make it the Back to the Future 2 car. But they say, oh, these parts aren't for this model. It's like, well, sure, but the wheels have the gimmick where they fold down. Come on. Just saying, it's in the instructions. Even though it's like the Mr. Fusion and the alternate back part are, there's like a back plate and then the hub, and then where Mr. Fusion sits on. The hub is the same, the back plate's different, and then Mr. Fusion replaces the locking handle goes in. Yeah, so yeah, really.
Where the plutonium went in.
Yeah, because that's the reactor. So.
But yeah, I think 3D printing is just another tool that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I know Brian loves his tools, and now I gave another one for his arsenal. So
yeah, I know exactly where it's going to go. Where it's going to go in the shed is a perfect spot for it, but it is now occupied by like a milk crate with like some shit in it, and like another tub in it that has some other tools in it, and then some other stuff and some rags. And then on top of that is my old foam core stuff from on top of the desk here, with some other stuff, and like a box of moss. And
yeah, how that
my
goes.
shed is a mess.
The only dangerous thing about 3D printing is it's probably a deeper tool than any other, where you could certainly lose yourself in 3D printing. Where I don't know if you can lose yourself in a single paintbrush or a single scribe quite the same way.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Well, it's not a one and done purchase either. Like, you go from buying the machinery to then buying the files, to then buying the materials, to then, you know, it's just the cleaning equipment. Like, it's definitely something that has a lot of hidden cost in it if you're not careful, but you can also save yourself so much if you have the skill and resource to really get the most out of that product.
Right, to really put it to use.
Yeah. It's like a tool you buy for your hobby that also becomes a hobby.
Exactly. Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think I've heard. Yeah, I think I've heard that as well. A good description.
Brandon's asking what resin printer you have, Kyle. I'm
What
sorry.
I have?
I'm sorry. What you would
Oh.
recommend?
What I would recommend, well, if you never had a resin printer before, you can't go wrong with either Anycubic or Ilgu Malers.
Elgu? Yeah. the Elgu.
Anycubic tends to
Or
have more
Saturn.
sales. Yeah, Saturn is an LQ product. Because you have the Anycubic Mono, the Anycubic Photon. Like the Saturn is just a name, so it's the Mars or the Saturn. And the only difference between the Saturn and the Mars is the size of the print bed. But
Gotcha.
I would recommend
Saturn's bigger, right?
Yep, exactly. I would recommend, especially now, if you've got $160 to throw at the wall, go buy yourself an Anycubic Mono. At this point in time, Anycubic has standardized their systems across their platforms, where realistically, you can get an amazing quality printer at $160 with that line. LG Mars is a little bit more expensive. At this point in time, both of them are pretty competitive in capability. But I would say grab an Anycubic Mono. It's got a good print size bed for your initial needs, and it'll kind of tell you whether or not this is something you want to expand into, like go with larger printers and things like I have the Mono X. I used to have the Anycubic Photon. Yes, Babs is right. 3D printing is for cheaters and frauds.
Yeah, Brandon, that's the one that I have.
No, get the Mono, the regular Mono. Here, I'll post
So
the
you
link
sent
in the
me.
chat.
Tabs was the Mono too. Or no,
You have the Mono too? I thought
Yeah,
you
you
had the
sent me the
Mono.
Mono too.
Oh, well then, yeah, get the Mono too. The next level.
But it's the
cheaper.
Anycubic Photon Mono too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Photon
Photon's like
Mono.
their base. Because I have the Mono X, the Photon Mono X, which is their larger bed. Then they have like the M3, which is more expensive. You don't need anything that for initial use. In fact, a lot of that is fidelity is the difference between those. Fidelity and print bed size, which means you can print larger prints. The Mono will get you by handsomely for initial stuff. Like you'll be able to print out busts of this size where you can pretty much, this comes in 3 separate parts, the tiger, the arm, and the base. You can print something like this without any issues on the Mono. You can do smaller parts, detail parts, stuff like that. I think that's a good baseline. You're not having to pay too much money in terms of getting into using it. And it, like my old one, I can still upgrade it and throw it back on the shelf and get even more years out of it. So, yeah, that's my answer. Long-winded explanation, but yes, shoot for the Photon Mono 2 from Anycubic. Great price. It's a reliable machine. You're going to get some quality prints out of it. And, you can really see if this is something you want to further invest in or if you just want to keep it as a minor hobby.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what you make. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
once you bite your teeth into it, I'm like, oh, yes, make everything grind.
I was even thinking about getting the various design programs. Obviously, I'll do them on my laptop because it's more than powerful enough to handle that shit.
Yeah, Fusion 360, get the hobby edition.
Yeah, Fusion 360, and then what was the other one Julio said was Blender? I should probably
it's,
get into or try.
Blender. Chi2 Box is going to be your default program for converting files into.
Is that a slicer? Or?
Yep, it's a slicer. I would recommend that over. Yeah, definitely get the wash and cure machine as well. I have that.
Right.
I would hold off on it. Wait until
I'm holding off on it. Yeah.
Yeah, wait until you've done it. Like I still use. I have it still sitting over here. I still use this pickle jar full of acetone because I ran out of isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah, you just need
just mineral spirits. But yeah, Brandon, you don't need to get the wash and cure system yet. Get a bad boy like this. It's a pickle jar. Fill it up with some cleaning solution, whether it be like purple power or I would get something a little more aggressive. I use mineral spirits.
And then I have a gallon of the industrial purple.
Yep. And then in terms of curing it, you can just get a black light. Oh yeah, so if you're paying $300 for 2 kilograms of resin, and if that's something you can afford, go for it. I caution that if you've never done it before, don't throw too much at it for fear, because the resale market isn't there. It's hard to get rid of this stuff because they're constantly pushing new equipment out and making old equipment obsolete very fast. Well, not obsolete like in terms of capability, but obsolete in terms of consumer desire. You're like, why would I
Okay.
buy that when I can buy this one for $10 more? And so I only caution you in terms of like, if you find you still might be on the fence, don't throw too much at this because you might get caught up in too much and not be able to resell it.
Yeah, you don't want to get burned, obviously.
Exactly. So a little bit of caution for you. But if you're okay with that cost, $309 is not really bad. Yes, respirator and gloves, immense,
Yeah.
and get some fucking shop rags. These things are amazing. Get yourself a silicone mat. That's where you're gonna take all your parts and take them off. It's easy to put it out in the sunlight here and break off all the resin and throw it in the trash. You know,
Or save
from
for
the wife.
Wrigley's.
Yeah, exactly. I buy myself gifts and then give it to Amy. Here, give it to me when it's my birthday.
Nice.
Yeah, respirator, gloves. I always stock up on boxes from Harbor Freight.
You don't need a respirator. Just do this. You're fine. It's
Um,
don't do that. I'm
if
just kidding.
you wanna-
Don't do that. Buy a fucking respirator.
If you're okay with spending money, get one of these as well. So this is an air purifier from Anycubic. These standalones are like $40. They're rechargeable. You got a little charcoal thing. These are amazing. Because like I said, the smaller units don't have air purification in the same manner as like some of the larger ones do.
What would I need to worry about that for?
You get VOC gases from the resin. I mean, you're going to be having it in your shed, so you don't necessarily have to worry about
Yeah,
that. but-
it's like
Yeah.
55, 75 feet from the house. It's not a.
Oh yeah, you'll be fine. But in
I'm
case
not
of
worried about
branding,
it. In another building elsewhere.
okay,
I'll
so
be
yeah,
fine.
that includes the air purifiers at 309. He was
Yeah,
saying.
that's what it's. Yeah, I had it on there. Yeah, 2K resin.
Volatile
Another thing.
organic compounds. You don't want to breathe in any dichloromethanes.
Exactly. Big words. Another thing, if you go on Amazon, it's a resin filter kit. So essentially, what it is it's a sieve, a metal sieve with a filter,
So,
and then a silicone cup. Mine's over here somewhere.
Thank you for the
That one
translation, Brian.
Because when you pour your resin out of the vat and you clean it out and all that, you're gonna want a place to put it, and that's a good way to filter out all the crap. That's
yeah,
another
you can also
must
just get
have.
paint. You can get paint filters too, right? to
Yeah,
filter
but
the
this one's
shit.
made of metal and it's like washable. I throw it in my cleaning solution and bam, I'm back. I don't have to worry about renewable.
Is it? Let's
or
see.
reusable
Look
resources.
around. I have so many things.
Yeah, it's this bad boy, and it has a silicone collar that goes in here. It's also out of arm's reach.
Oh, here we go. Let me see your shit. Show me.
So it's this, and it goes there, and then you put that inside your resin cup, and then you pour the resin from your vat. Yeah, similar to that. Yep, that's where it worked perfectly, Brian. And then boom. So
These are the inside ones. I have like 30 of them outside.
oh, see, that's fine. Yeah, and then you put that inside your resin bottle. Take the resin from the vat from the printer and put it in there, and then you clean it off and all that shit.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then it's
Do I have a
amazing to
silicone
have.
one of those? I should get a silicone funnel.
Yeah.
I always use the.
'Cause you have to be careful with plastics. Eventually, with all that resin coming through, it's going to start breaking it down. And
Because I had a set of these that I use for all of my resins from the
Mhm.
decade of resin casting that I did. So I've got a set
Yeah.
of these guys, and I just will go through. You can probably see there's still a little bit of resin in there.
Mhm.
I just go through and I just chip it out because it's not the same kind of resin. It doesn't bond the same.
yeah, this stuff will eat that plastic like it's dinner.
Cool.
Within like maybe 4 or 5 times of doing it, you'll start seeing the plastic become brittle and breaking apart. And then that stuff is then in turn getting into your resin bottle, which would then contaminate your
Yeah. You don't want that. No, you don't want
Yeah.
inclusions and shit. I hear you. No, I'll get a silicone.
Yeah. So silicone is going to be your key with dealing with these type of resins, even pure resins.
Oh, here we go. Wait a second.
Yeah, Brandon, if you have any other questions or you want me to like send you a list
Oh,
of
yeah.
the things to buy as an initial purchase, just hit me up on Instagram. 101. And I got a couple of videos I can send your way too for like troubleshooting and just Uncle Jesse. Watch a lot of his videos. He goes over like the core process of taking the print and then cleaning it and then prepping it, and you know what that process means. Invest in hot water. Hot water is going to make removal of your supports fucking cake job. So essentially what I do is I clean it in my mineral spirits, get it all clean, I have a toothbrush, and then I let it dry, and then not really dry, but let it sit, and I wash it in water with hot water, and that's when I break the supports, and then I cure it.
Nice.
Rather than curing it with the support still connected and making that process a lot fucking more taxing.
Right.
Yeah, Brian, you're gonna have to learn about support settings.
Yeah. I am very familiar with
Yep.
stuff. I'm gonna have to learn how they function within the programs and
Don't buy
stuff. Like
hot
that.
water. You
Like,
can
that's
make
gonna be
it.
different.
Yeah, invest in hot water. It's a great stock. It never goes down in value. Do you know?
Yeah. Call the city. Ask them to turn your hot water on for you.
Yeah.
If you want
Make
it
sure that
pumped in.
Paul
make sure
would
you're paying
know.
for the hot water option with your utilities.
Yeah.
That's extra. That's extra. Somebody had a comment about that because, hot water heaters. It's like, no, you're not putting hot water in there. It's heating water. So why do they call it hot water heater?
It should be a cold water heater. Is really what it's.
Exactly.
I suppose it should be.
Well, that's there's a lot of those type of things.
You're not wrong. I mean,
Yeah, in English.
In terms of resins too, Brian, one I use a lot that I've had great success with is I use Tech a lot. They're pretty well priced, and I use their fast, which means I can bump up the cure times between each of the layers and essentially cut like a third of the time off my printing.
Cool.
I've got a box here. So this 1 kilogram is about like $36 currently on Amazon. Yeah, so Tech. I use cream, but you can get like other colors too if you want. But it gets Tech fast. It's amazing. I have very few failures with this resin. I mean, I've gone through a series of different tests to lock in my settings, but it even when shit hits the fan, it has never let me down compared to some of the other resins I've used. So.
How do you spell that again?
Tech. Hold on. It's not like sriracha. It's a little bit different. It is spelled SIRAYA Tech. And you want the fast.
Tech version. Cool.
You can get it like clear, you can get it cream, you can get
There
it
it
black,
is,
gray,
fast.
everybody. Yeah. You heat up your resin before you use it. I used to use a seedling heating mat during winter. I've never heard of that, Rick. A seedling heating mat. I just run it under hot water after I clean it. Yeah, you got ABS. You've got some more high tensile type resins as well.
Yeah, tough resin. You can fucking make hardware. Interesting. I like that.
Loren says if you're tired of heating up water all the time, make hot water and then freeze it for later.
Oh yeah, stockpile your hot water. You can never go wrong by having a surplus.
No.
Yeah, it stays good forever if you put it in the freezer.
I that's actually a pro tip because I find myself working a lot. I don't have time to make hot water, so what I do over the weekends is I make an abundance throughout the week, so then I can have hot water for showers. I just go to the freezer, grab it out.
Yeah,
good to go.
You're good to go.
Yeah. Like meal prep, man. You got to prep your hot water.
Don't put shit in your fans while resin printing. It already stinky as is.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, have that shit running before you're dealing with stuff. Yeah, you can even get like some of the clear type resins, Brian. So like the green clear, and you could use like oil inks to kind of dye things depending on what you want to do.
Right.
Those ones there's a little. I haven't done anything involving that, so I'm not entirely sure how one sets resin up for that new element being put into the mix with alcohol coloring, but I know people do it, so settings for it. Also with Chichu Bucks, Brian, and same thing for you, Brandon. It has historical set points for printers. So if you put in your printer information, and you can even look up resin types. So you can look up Tech fast, and it'll give you recommended settings based on other users' inputted profiles. And it'll tell you how many other users are using that profile and what was the success rate. And I'll tell you what the cure time's in. And that can be a good set point for then you can run tests from there to refine it even further. So you won't have to like start from zero. You can get a profile from other users as a good point. So the profiles consist of like layer height, your cure times for each of the layer types and all that, and then all that. So you can go, okay, I want to print at 0.2 meters or whatnot. I can't remember how the measure is. And then okay, this is what people have used for these settings to print at that layer size. Okay, that gives me a good point of reference to build off of, rather than just starting at 0 and going, okay, I don't fucking know what I'm supposed to set this shit to.
Mhm.
And you can
You
download
mean micrometers?
Yeah, micrometers. Yeah,
That's
it's
like
not-
how small your tolerances are?
Hold on.
I think it's
I'm typing-
nanometers.
Yeah, I think it's nano. Let me make sure I'm speaking correctly on this, and Pabs, feel free to chime in, because like I know your printer has some pretty high resolution.
Yeah, I haven't even read anything on it. That I
Fucking
literally
print
just
like
pulled it out of the
that.
box the first time I brought that stack in here to show you guys. I've been like, because I don't want to distract myself from the shit I need to do.
Yeah, even further distraction. Okay, so the capability of that printer has a resolution of 4,906 to 22560, which that's whatever. It's really just the bed size. Oh, yeah, and you have anti-zealous or
Micrometers, yeah. Just
ounces.
the uppercase U is micro, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm,
so micrometers,
okay, cool.
yeah. And you can
Fantastic.
print to, so where is it? Only sets. Come on, give me your tolerance. So you can do a down to 10 micrometers of accuracy. So that's how so it's normally set by your stepper motor, on how much you can do for layers. But yeah, it's pretty. It's good printer.
Fantastic.
I normally do it at 0.3 for mine. Keeps the layer lines in check. Man, makes me want to buy another printer. God damn, this thing's even more capable than the one I have. You've even got the checkered bed too, so you get like massive amounts of adhesion. That's what we're about. The
Fancy.
laser engraved build plate. Ooh,
Upgraded
exposure
turbo.
times.
Upgraded light turbo matrix.
Yeah, upgraded light turbo matrix. Yeah, look at that. No grid lines. That's the one I have. I have the Photo Mono X. It's in 4K. Yeah, 1.5 second cure times for each of the layers. I'm sure you can even crank it down further. That's always like the safe bet.
Well, I'm gonna forget all this information. We're gonna talk about it again later.
That's fine. It's going to be a process. You don't just have it learned in one sitting. You're going to have to go through a lot of trial and error and
Oh yeah,
just figuring things out.
yeah. I'm gonna have to read a bunch of stuff prior to even setting it up, so that I have my space set up properly for everything.
I think what we can do is kind of get like a nice little hangout sesh going, Brian, and we can set at least a standard sequence of operation. And through that process, we can actually dial in your settings for the printer, the resin you're using, because most test prints take about 10 minutes to do. They're actually very small,
cool.
and they like have a bunch of information on them. And what you do is you just make micro adjustments. Okay, I went from 1.5 seconds per layer height to 2 seconds, and then you go the other way to 1 second. Like you work within the parameter, and you see, okay, yeah, I'm over curing or I'm under curing, and I'm losing a lot of fidelity, and then you tweak it from there. Incrementally, and then you work, okay, now I can fuck around with my movements, my Z movements, and my retraction speeds and whatnot, and then that will decrease your print time by fucking around with those settings. So then, okay, what can I get away with while maintaining this level of clarity now that I've got my cure times for it? So you can do all that within a 2-hour window.
Oh, cool.
Once you have all that set though, right? Like you're
set it and forget it.
Yep. Right. So as long as you don't change the resin type or something crazy doesn't change.
As long as you don't change the resin type, you should get that same quality for that resin for those settings.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy a book because I'm gonna change the resin type all the time.
Yeah, right.
And I'm gonna,
What
I'm
I
gonna
do
have
is
to take notes.
you
for
don't
all
need
the
to
shit
do that. I have saved profiles for all my resin types that I've done because I've outside of my cure resin, I've done the tests. I'll spend a weekend just powering through them. I'll take the initial profile, like, okay, and then I print it. Okay, this is what that gives me. I want to tweak it, so then I'll tweak it one way or the other. And you really, I personally don't know which direction to go, so I always just go high and low from the set point. But yeah, it doesn't take long, and then you save the profile, and you can like save it to the T. Like, this is my Tech Cure Creamy resin. This is my Tech Clear resin. Like, you can build all those profiles in Box, so you don't necessarily need a notebook.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I like it.
it's pretty. It's so as much as I
probably
say
have
there's a
one
lot
anyway.
of shit to it. It's very like next level about how all that shit's
See,
because I know people are going to
here's-
be using a shit ton of stuff.
Here's my thing about writing notes down and taking these notes down is that, like, I don't need to have power to read the notes.
Well,
or
you need to have power to
look
print,
at things.
so you're really going to
Doesn't matter.
regardless.
I'm not worried about that at the time that I'm reading and working in the notes, usually. So.
Once you settle down with Box and we go through the bases, then you can kind of plan how you want to carry your information.
Sure. Yeah. There's
You
gonna be
see
a whole thing.
Yeah. But that particular printer, I don't think it has wireless capabilities. You know, I have the website. Why don't I just look at it? Some of them do, where they can talk directly to your computer and you just send the print to it. This one, I believe, you're gonna have to put on a USB, which it comes with.
That's
the printer, and then slap it in there.
Maybe.
But if you're really feeling froggy, you can go buy yourself a Raspberry Pi and then build a wireless point that then talk to your computer to talk to your printer. But Anycubic doesn't work, sadly. The way their file system works, they don't allow that without using their own wireless. I don't know why, but you can do it with FTM printers all day long.
Interesting. I don't have
printers
a
are weird.
Raspberry Pi. I have an Arduino, so I don't have the right program.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I have
you'd
be in the same
super simple process maker.
You'd be in the same boat, sadly. For some reason, resin printers, in particular Anycubic, you can't do those with. I don't know why. There's something in the code that they've made that process difficult.
Which is good. It's probably just stops it from having any sort of weird interference that might fuck with your, like your print.
Yeah, Octopi doesn't work with Anycubic. I don't know if it works with Elegoo and what's the other company? X something, EX Pro, or the other resin major company. But yeah, it doesn't work with Anycubic for some reason. I don't even think it works with their FTM printers either. So I'm talking to Rick on this one, but Octopi is the program that you download. It's like the OS that your Raspberry Pi would then keep, which would then communicate with the printers.
Gotcha.
Actually, no, it does work with FTM printers because I have an Anycubic FTM and I used Octopi on that one off of my computer so I can monitor it. Essentially, you can like make changes to the printer functions while it's printing through that program. It's unnecessary for what you're going to be using it for, but if you ever want to get froggy with technology, there's always that.
I think about as froggy as I'm going to get with technology is getting a baby monitor to watch it.
Yeah, you don't even need to do that. But so Typherius talks about heating up your resin. If the ambient temperature is within the range, so if you look on the bottle, it tells you what
depending on how warm your resin is. Like if your resin is cold,
you want to maintain a certain viscosity. So obviously, ambient temperature. Let's pull this bottle of resin out again. So, okay, you don't want to tell me. Fuck you then. Typically on the bottle, it'll tell you what the temperature range is in which it
there might be a MSDS sheet that comes with your
not this, maybe because of this box, but here I'll pull up one of my other ones. I know Elegoo or the Elegoo.
Yeah, definitely type for wintertime. Like, so my shed is insulated, so it's not like, and I have a one big window on the east facing side, and I have a skylight on the south facing side, and there's a little window in the door on the south facing side too. So it does collect solar energy, and I did finish off the roof. So, but I have like more insulating than I need to do, and blah 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 blah. So it will stay probably okay in there. We'll see, but yeah, I agree.
Mine's in my room, so it's always in climated temperature. But so for this particular resin, this is Elegoo's standard gray, which this is probably going to give you a nice set point to play with. So 20 to
Mhm.
25 degrees Celsius is the recommended temperature in which this must be stored as well as printed. So yeah.
What is that, like 75 or something like that?
Yeah, roughly 75, 80. Like, I
80,
think you can go
something
as
like
like low as 65 degrees. But
that?
yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
think
don't want to
50
get
is.
you don't want to be gummy like Ty is saying,
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
Rick is saying.
Exactly. But yeah, I don't do that, but also I don't have my printer in the garage or outside. I have it in my bedroom, or not my bedroom, but my office. It's right next to me right here. Pew.
Right.
68 to 77. So
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah, so I okay, that makes sense what you're getting at though about the heating bed. Yeah, I don't have to do that. I just use hot water that I made.
But I get that.
I
would
bought a
probably
case
just
of hot water.
I got shelves up high in my
Mhm.
shed because it's like
Yeah.
tall. It's like
Mhm.
10 feet to the peak, and there's not a ceiling inside of it because it's a fucking
Mm.
shed. So I have a shelf that's at 8 feet high. It's up in the
Mhm.
roof basically, and I'll just keep all my resins and shit up there in the wintertime, and then obviously
Yeah,
move them to
the
the
heat will
floor in the
travel up. Yep.
summertime, so that it's not
Well,
like
and then
100 and something degrees from the
another
boiling.
thing
Yeah.
you can do, like if you find yourself, like let's say during the printing process, for whatever reason, because you're not in there a lot, you don't build up enough heat to really have it stay hot. Say, so even insulation has a point in
Right.
which it
I'll get a little
stops,
space heater.
keeping. Yeah, but if you don't have it on for like say 3 days,
Right.
yeah, it's gonna get cold in there eventually. You can always put it in a hot box. That's what a couple people do. I have they do it for both gases as well as just maintaining a space for temperature. FTM printers are notorious for this, where they can have a climated area, keeps humidity out, and you can maintain the temperature range for your stuff without having to. But with resin, people don't normally do that too much, but it's a possibility to do the same thing where if you want to have a temperate space, you can create a little hot box for it to sit in and not have to worry about it getting an issue. But again, that's more than what you're probably going to need.
What do you mean a hot box?
So you build an enclosure that it has regulated temperature in itself.
Oh, okay.
So
I see what you're saying.
hot box, but I don't think you're going to need anything like that.
Yeah, it's a shed. You could probably, like at that point.
Yeah. Well, if you're printing, you're probably going to be in that space, and you're going to have it heated while you're in there. So yeah, I doubt you're just going to leave it alone for 3 days and then let temperature run rampant.
No.
Yeah, so it'll be fine.
Am I going to be running the printer for 3 days straight?
I have had some prints that have been almost 2 days long. That was on the old printer. So when the thing you have to consider is when you do smaller layer heights, that's more layers. More layers means more time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just sometimes you may have a massive print, high fidelity. That combination just leads to. Though on resin printing, I think the longest I've had in as of late with this current technology, probably like 17 hours.
Okay.
And that was like pushing it. Most of the stuff I've had is like 8 hours average for highly detailed modded side stuff.
Cool.
Or you can be like the other stuff I have where it's like takes 30 minutes. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, depending on what it is, like the size.
It all depends. Exactly.
If I'm doing hubcaps or something like that, it's not going to take very long to print.
Exactly. I'm excited. This is cool. You're gonna make all kinds of cool shit and print out.
Are you kidding me? Of course.
Yeah.
And then I was thinking too, like so if I put this stuff on my computer, I can take the computer with me on my long ass commutes.
Yeah, and be doing stuff.
Excuse me. And work on learning some of the ins and outs and designing stuff and getting good with manipulating the programs. Oh, that'll be cool. I like that. Oh, give me something to do so I don't just like mindlessly doom scroll through Instagram.
Oh, dude, this is way better. Fusion 360 is actually pretty intuitive. At least like in a basic sense.
Tutorials and shit. And I used to use SolidWorks a long time ago.
Yeah, you'll pick up on this pretty quick.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm just gonna have to make sure that I pay attention and try and it's just like figuring out how to navigate the program. So,
oh, dude, it's the same basic. Here, I'll show you. So this was window. We'll do this. Here we go. So this is the cab I was working on. Hold on. I have to remember the functions. So this is the cab, and like you build families and do all kinds of shit, and you have all these bodies.
Right.
Look at this. So
Uh,
you create a sketch, and then the sketch gets used to then expand and make a 3D object. But yeah, I mean, like I created the cab. It's cool. I made the glass. The glass is separate, its own separate body. So if I
Nice.
wanted to, I can fuck around, and I got the door. Here's the door frame right here. I created separate armaments and stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's like you can get into the groove and really make some cool shit with this program. I mean, you've seen the stuff that Will does too, like in terms of detail. This is like bare bone shit.
Mhm.
Make a couple of hex bolts. I even created depressions, so then I can hold on. Gotta reach over here, connect the armor so it lines up perfectly.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you want
Great reliefs and stuff like that. So yeah, you can
creating surfaces.
made the door handle, the cover plates for the different seams.
Nice.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like I sat there while I was on drill, just doing all the details while I had the photos. Do I have? Hold on. Yeah, so you can see the. See, there's the truck, and I just used that outline to build the armor and everything, and I knew how long it had to be based on scale. Match the picture to the scale, and then work the rest around
Wild.
it. Yeah. And here's reference photos I used. Okay, here's what I have to do, what pieces I have to add. Yeah,
Nice.
some good shit.
Oh
Why
yeah.
I'm only showing one body for this though? Oh, because I forgot I created components. So yeah, so I've got outer door.
Did you do this level of research and R&D for the anime titty girls as well?
No, I was born with the knowledge required for the anime titty girls.
God given.
I was gonna say you're born. You're.
I felt it in my loins. I was like,
you got to do that
Came
by
in-
feel.
I don't
came
think anybody
intuitively.
No one is in doubt that he felt it.
This
Very
just feels
serious.
right.
Yeah, I'm just like it's much like in the new episode of Ahsoka. I had to like sense it without eyes, so I had to do it by touch. Just, okay, yes, this part needs to be sanded, and this.
I haven't
needs
seen
to be-
any of those episodes. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, and that's all right.
It's enjoyable. Highly recommend the show.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I will. Don't worry.
Section.
What up, Chris Collins? Just finished his base coats on his
reminds me.
Cerulean project build. I assume.
Booleans.
Jujutsu
I don't play with
Kaisen
Booleans.
came back today.
I don't deal with Blender. But yeah, it's when you make 3D spaces or 3D objects, booleans or something.
Jujutsu
I know.
Kaisen. I don't watch it.
Watch
I hear it's popular.
It's good.
I have to watch the new season. I've been
It
slacking.
came back today. It's been off for like the last 3 or 4 weeks. They took a break.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know if I was like, oh, Gojo, yeah, it's like pre-life before
Yeah.
he became badass.
Kyle knew how to model the anime titties. He just needed the technology to catch up.
Exactly. I had it all the whole time. It was deep within my in the recesses of my mind, but I didn't know how to access that knowledge in the archives.
Yep. 3D printing was just in time. Otherwise, he was going to have to cryogenically freeze himself so that he can awaken when the technology was available.
Yeah. I was wondering why I went through my life just wondering, why do I feel like I'm missing something? And then I stumbled upon the 3D resin ladies of the night. I've always wondered why my wife deals with my obsession with the ladies. She doesn't question it. She's not like, oh, that's kind of weird. She's just like, okay, cool. Buy your Oscar figures. I don't give a shit. Do you, boo boo? She is perfect. Could not ask for a better person. Okay, yeah. So Boolins. Make it depression.
Boolins.
Boolins. Give me phonetics on that one, Pab, so I can pronounce that correctly.
Okay, what is-
Boolins.
Looks like boolings.
Balloons. That's what it is, right?
If he just puts a space between boo and leans, I'm gonna.
Booleons. Yeah, booleons. That's what it is. It's the fancy balloons. Yeah, Ahsoka is definitely Rebels season 5, but I mean, I'm not upset with that. It's enjoyable. I'm liking it. I've 8 seasons or 8 episodes, and we just finished episode 3 as of this week. So, or 4. Wait, yeah, 3. I'm enjoying it.
I haven't started.
Are you just
I don't know
waiting
if I
to
will.
binge it?
No, I just don't know if I'm gonna start.
Why not? Did you enjoy The Mandalorian?
It was alright. Like the first season, I liked. The second season was a little.
Did you watch Rebels?
No.
Oh, okay. And that's hard because the guy who did Rebels is doing Ahsoka, so
Yeah.
they're keeping the continuity amongst the directorial team, which clearly, like, you can see his work from Rebels in this, and I'm not upset by that. Like, he did a great job in Rebels. The only thing I didn't enjoy about Rebels was the animation style. I don't know why. I wish they had the Clone War, the original Clone Wars style. I liked that, Samurai Jack-esque cartoon style, but I don't know why they changed that to the 3D thing. But yeah, Elon Throll, yeah, he does look like Elon Musk, doesn't he? Thrawn, the bad guy.
Oh, is it the blue guy?
Yeah, the tactician general. But no, I mean, give it a watch. See if you like it. If you don't, then you don't have to watch it. It's fine.
Give it a watch.
Yeah, give it a watch, Paul. Just give it a watch.
I may. I mean, like I didn't finish Obi-Wan. I watched
I did not watch
half
Obi-Wan.
of it. It was like the first 2 or 3 episodes were good, and then like once he left Tatooine, it was like really, I don't know,
Yeah,
kind of got a little cringy on me.
to be honest with you, I didn't like how it started. I was okay with how it ended, but as a whole, Obi-Wan is like,
Yeah.
Kenobi didn't really have to be made. To be honest with you,
I didn't watch it.
I watched some of Boba Fett. I didn't really love that either.
I watched all of Boba Fett. It was okay.
Book of Boba Fett, I was not a fan because I feel like they took that man's balls. This is supposed to be like one of the most feared bounty hunters, and now he's over there trying to be, I'm going to be the senator and civil.
Well, he also
Yeah.
had like he
Shut
almost
down.
died. Okay, so
Yeah, but then he's like fully recovered and he's getting walked on by mob bosses and shit. Like, he doesn't start standing up for himself until the very end, and even then he did kind of a mediocre thing in that. So I honestly thought that was I like the episodes with Mandalorian in it. Those were some good episodes. Other than that, I
Yeah.
did not care for Book of Boba Fett that much. It wasn't terrible, but I also kind of just feel like they really did not do the character service, especially like if you
Could have
look
been
at
a
like,
lot.
the books
Yeah.
and shit. He's a badass. You don't fucking
Yeah.
take shit from nobody.
I don't know nothing. So
Yeah, I didn't watch Andor. I heard that was good, and I'm interested in it. I
Yeah.
just haven't-
Andor
Andor
was
was very good.
Do
Yeah,
you
I
like
just haven't
James
gotten around
Bond?
to
Watch
Yeah.
Andor. Space
I've
James
heard
Bond.
everyone I know who's watched it has said it's good. I just haven't gotten around
Yeah.
to it yet.
Yeah, that one I highly recommend. If anything, if I were to push a show on you to watch in the Star Wars multiverse, watch Andor. Andor was definitely a
Andor was very, very
Good one.
good. I almost watched it again. Started watching it again just the other day, but didn't. What did I watch instead? I watched the new Batman with Robert Pattinson again.
Yeah, I like that one.
I like that one a lot.
I'm glad
yeah.
they're bringing him back. I'm glad that he's gonna
Oh.
stay Batman.
They are. I did not know that. That's good.
I like just the style of it. Like it was more
Oh,
like
yeah.
a noir than
Yes.
like superhero.
It's definitely true detective, more true detective
Yeah.
than it is some of the other stuff that Batman's got involved in. Just good. I
like
like
that.
that. You're everyday
Yeah.
vigilante instead of fucking superpowered freak
Right.
kind of shit. Which I'm not going to say that any of the other Batman movies of late did that or dropped the ball. I like this year one type stuff.
Yeah, it's a little grittier. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
things are still getting established. I like that.
Well, they didn't. I like that they didn't really lean too heavy into the, Thomas and Martha Wayne die again.
right? They're like, we got that already. Everyone's seen that a couple of
You
times.
know
knows
what
that.
happens.
Yeah.
You know what happens.
And just like visually, it was amazing looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. The audio and the visual, like I was
Yeah.
fucking in it, and obviously the Batmobile was sick as fuck.
Yes.
I love that. It's got a jet motor. Oh shit.
The what was I gonna say? I don't remember. I'm sorry. If it was important, it'll come back to me. Shit.
Well, and I liked too about it was, again, like the year one mentality of it. Like he's still trying to figure shit out, and he's also still getting kind of his ass kicked.
Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna
It's
say.
cool, yeah.
The most of what we got from like the middle period of of Bruce Wayne's story with what Batman Begins was like Christian Bale in like an oversized coat and a revolver in his hand,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden he's like off trying to find Carmitage or some shit.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson's.
Liam's Neeson's.
Yeah. I like Robert Pattinson's Batman. I'm a fan. And Catwoman's in the mix. That's always nice.
Yeah.
Selena Kyle.
Yeah, Zoe Kravitz. She's good.
Yeah.
She is, yeah.
Totoro as Carmine Faltoci was fucking
The next two episodes, Skeleton Crew and The Acolyte. So the next two episodes, the titles for Ahsoka? Because I feel like the next episode, we're about to see some lightsaber fighting. Go down. It's about to go down.
Kyle's like, I got my sticks and markers together, my lightsaber.
Oh no, I have a lightsaber. I showed you guys. Remember when I went to Disney?
Oh, right.
My wife bought me one. She's like, "You've been good. Let me treat you." And I'm like, "I want to get a lightsaber."
Well, that's cool.
So I went and got Anakin's old lightsaber, the one that gets passed down to Luke, which then gets passed down to Rey, which we don't talk about that part. That's the Skywalker we don't talk about. She's not Skywalker. She's a Palpatine. She's a Palpatine. What the fuck?
Didn't happen.
Yeah, you can't just marry into a family like that. That's not how that works.
I mean,
Ben touched me, so I'm a Skywalker now. No, that's not how that works.
Nice. All right, boyos
All right,
and girlios. We are at the almost 2-hour mark.
Oh.
I have got some painting to do, which makes noise. And so I'm going to call this podcast, not a podcast, this live stream, Finito, a Mil Finito from Dark Souls 2. What else did I miss here? I've been looking at the checks. I've been working on models. Oh, yes, people are heading out anyways. It's perfect timing.
Yeah.
Thanks for showing up. It's a fucking great time hanging out and talking models with Paul and Kyle. Thank you guys for coming through. And
Thank you for having us.
it's good to chat with everybody in the audience. If you're watching this in post and you've made it this far, appreciate you. We'll be back again next Thursday. So if you don't see you before, we'll see you then. Bye.
Same great place, same great channel. Bye.